What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. All right, Blues Guy says he'll be popping in late. He's going to rehearsal. I hear you. Thanks for letting us know, and have a great rehearsal. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Mute. All right, mic check is complete. Crypto Maniac in the house. Not sure when he commented. Hopefully he's still here. Pull up those crypto bubbles. All right, he is here. Cool. Thanks for being here, Crypto Maniac. I really appreciate you for sure. Is there any need to really wait the last minute? I guess we'll wait that last minute just to see if anybody pops up. Give a minute for everybody to come on in. Oh, Trade Intuition in the house. What's up? What's up? I never know where people are, so I don't know if to say good night or good morning, but welcome in, welcome in. I guess that's easier, right? Just welcome. Gotta fix that writing. I don't know how when I uploaded it, it just moved Crypto IQ down to where the numbers are. I don't know why it did that. Anyways, let's hop on over to the crypto bubbles. And how is everybody feeling tonight? How are you feeling about crypto specifically, I guess, is the real question. You know, if you just click, it moves these bubbles around. It's really annoying, actually. How do I get them to go back to normal? I have to like reload the page probably. That would make a lot of sense. It says 8 p.m. Okay, so we're on the same time there. Trade Intuition. 8 p.m. EST for me. Yep, we are on that same time. I feel like I'm like taller today than normal on the stream. All right. Anyways, so what's really the big story here on a Monday? Co-AI with a 59.2% pullback. What is that thing even at right now? Jeez, that's from today. Went from $16 today to $5.04. What is up with this coin? Talk about some pump and dump. Says he sent me an email a few days ago. Not sure if you read it. Actually, I haven't read it. I apologize about that. But I will definitely go look for it as soon as the stream's over. Feeling better with the green. Knowing how the market can pump so quick is still on my mind. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, you know, it does kind of seem like the quicker the pump, the quicker the dump, vice versa. I always use the analogy of like a rubber band being pulled back. I think it's crazy that Co-AI is the ticker. Chain Opera AI is the project. Went from $16.40 today and it's sitting at $5.46. That's kind of wild. That is wild. We'll look a little bit more into that in just a minute. What else is going on? SNX is up 36%. That's cool. From $1.60 to $2.50. And again, like Crypto Maniac just pointed out, most of it looks pretty green. Yeah, and sorry I missed your email there, Trade. Can I just call you Trade? Do I have to say trade intuition every time? Why am I asking? I don't know. MYX up 13% in the last hour. So MYX really the winner for the last hour, and CoAI definitely the loser of the day. Let's do our what are the prices right now segment that we always do right after crypto bubbles. Is this valuable to everybody? I don't know. It's really for me. Is that okay? Can I be a little bit selfish right now? Bitcoin 115,208. Ethereum 4,245. Why do I feel like it was up more yesterday? Was it? I don't know. I guess maybe it was. So 4,245 for Ethereum. BNB 1,296. Call it 1,300. XRP still fighting. Can't get back to that $3 mark. $2.61. That $3 mark for XRP might be a little high. I think $2.50 might be a better mark right now for it. $2.08 for Solana. Man, oh, Solana got beat down. Why do I feel like a lot of this stuff was up more yesterday? 21 cents for Doge. That's not too bad. Cardano, 72 cents. Tron, 32 cents. Chainlink, $19.90. Hyperliquid, $42.48. SWI, $2.99. Also seems lower than yesterday. So, yeah, I must be on to something there. Avalanche, $23.82. Hedera, 19 cents. And where is that? Oh, Hedera, that would be HBAR. Okay, and we're done with that. Yeah, it's just really for me to kind of catch up, see if anything has really done much in the last, well, since this afternoon or since this morning, the last time I kind of went over it. We talked about yesterday that a lot of coins in the BitTensor ecosystem, what they call subnets, were getting a lot of movement. And no shocker, top trending. Is that a word? Definitely not a word. Top trending coin today is BitTensor. Up, what is it, in 24 hours? 16.5%. So going over crypto bubbles is just standard practice. Got to see how top coins and biggest losers and winners are. Yeah, exactly. Cryptomaniac gets it. Where's Orhan? He's sleeping, I bet. Zcash, still up 59.6% in the last 7 days. And we're looking at what's trending. This is Humanity. Very interesting. Pi Network. We'll come back to Humanity and take a look at what that is. I feel like we've been over that, actually. An Open Campus. EDU. I've been over that coin before, but not in a little while. So we'll come back to those. I told myself a while back that we would actually go over a few coins first before we started clicking on them and diving into them. I want to go back because I want to see what the Fear and Greed. It said 38, but I wasn't sure if that was up to date. Yeah, 38 for the Fear and Greed. It's pretty good. Not sure why we went to Bio Protocol. That was random. All right, let's see what's trending over on CryptoRank. So what else do we got here? Recognize almost all of these. This Cajun is just continued to be trendy. I don't know if that's really done much for its price action. I mean, the 7-day price action for just about everything is red. And a lot of them not a couple percent either, like 42%, 39%. And so that would be the top 20 search in the last 7 days. Top 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. It looks similar, but you have like Clink Finance, Darknet, Monad, ticker Mon. We went over that one yesterday. Recall we've been over several times. Pipe Network we've been over a few times. This 375 AI actually downloaded their app today. And I don't know. The app downloaded just fine. It was when I was going to connect a wallet and download Phantom Wallet on my phone because I don't have it on my phone. Then it was being weird and I couldn't get it to connect. So I got to try to finish that up. All right. So let's go back and look at Open Campus. Obviously, Open Campus. What's a campus? What's EDU? Education. This is an education coin, which is an interesting niche. It's got $90.6 million in its market cap. And let's look at the tags real quick. Education, kind of spoiled that one. And this YZI Labs, Binance Launchpad, very interesting. This is, what's the correlation here between this EDU and Giggles? Because Giggles has that education narrative as well. And also, let me get this watch off. Watch is dead. Needs to charge. All right. So yeah, Giggles also very much connected to Binance. I mean, literally on CZ's Twitter, under like his, like right under his profile picture, there's a shout out to Giggles. So Binance Launchpad, YZI Labs, this EDU, maybe they're going to combine forces. What is this education narrative for Binance, you know? Let's go to the website. I think you guys got the point. So education starts with EDU. Open Campus is building a blockchain-powered financial layer for education with accessible student financing and trusted credentialed to meet real-world needs at scale. Some decent-looking artwork, I guess, if you're really into education. Start your EDU journey so you can buy EDU on Binance, can join a waitlist for their wallet. Open Campus, building a community-led DAO and an on-chain education network. I mean, I could definitely see the value in this. Now, what they're going to deliver on, there's two things about this education narrative, no matter what the coin is, that's really important, in my opinion. One would be, you know, the quality of education they deliver on, right? The courses, the teachers. Is it going to be Zoom meetings? Is it going to be pre-recorded videos? Like, what is it going to be? And then more importantly than that even is how recognized I don't know what you want to call it, a degree, I guess, from something like this. How recognized would that be from country to country, right? That's really the big takeaway here. Very interesting. And then there's not a whole lot to say about it, right? I mean, I guess one of the big things we'd be asking ourselves is, do they have a working product? Like, what courses can I take? Claim your campus ID. I don't want a campus ID. I just kind of like to see what you have. Right, like, shouldn't there be a part that's going to tell me, like, what the courses are? Are they just going to start really small with just, like, math and science, right? Hold at least 50 EDU in your on-chain wallet to be able to mint. Phase 2, holders of the DID protocol. And then the public phase at Open Campus. Inclusivity is at the core of our mission. While we begin with allow list, our medium turn remains to open the door wide for everybody. I don't know. I think they maybe should hint at a little bit more of what they're actually going to offer, right? Because, I mean, they can't just offer everything, can they? They just copy and paste like another, another university. All right. Why is it pumping today? Why is Binance behind these education coins? Is this a charity narrative? Are they getting huge write-offs for this stuff? I kind of doubt it as far as crypto goes. But Giggles, it just really reminds me of Giggles and the whole education and charity narrative. I don't know if we really want to consider it charity necessarily. Face value says good evening. Welcome in, welcome in. Good morning, good night, wherever you are. Good afternoon, maybe. I don't even know. But definitely glad to have you here. We're just kind of kicking off, just getting started. Chain Opera or CoAI seems to be the biggest loser of the day. Let's go to humanity. Ticker H. I know we've been over this coin before. And does this kind of fall into the same thing again? Is BNB taking over, Binance Alpha? It seems like almost every coin we look at now is rather YZI Labs or Binance Alpha Spotlight. And are they interconnected? Really, what's the difference between being rather launched on Binance Alpha Launchpad Binance Launchpad, being affiliated with Binance Alpha Spotlight, or being directly funded by YZI Labs. And I'm sure they have other arms as well. So this is kind of the crypto IQ raisin stuff that we're talking about today. And I think that with Binance coin being such a hot coin right now and pumping, I think that's a signal that a lot of their ecosystem type stuff is going to do well. I mean, isn't that pretty obvious with what Cake has done price action wise? Let's go to their website here. Humanity Protocol. Online trust is under attack. Download our free report built on research from Messari, Delphi Digital, which is usually an investor, and a Humanity Protocol global survey. The rise of identity fraud. I mean, yeah, it's not a new thing, right? Mr. J in the building. The human layer of Web3. Your identity, your rules. From secure logins to bot prevention, your identity works where you need it. Join the mainnet now. So again, this is very much about, like, you know, DID, or, you know, identity minted on blockchain, not having your identity defrauded. What's really interesting with a lot of this is, like, this, I don't know about Giggles, but that EDU thing we were just looking at, the education coin, also was talking a lot about campus ID and like a digital form of ID. Not like it's a new narrative, not like it's a new topic or anything like that, but it is interesting that a lot of these projects that we're looking at that are trending, at least right now, I mean, WorldCoin is another one. I don't really know who's behind WorldCoin, but a lot of these have connections to Binance and are kind of propped up by Binance. So, I don't know. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? So next we're going to go over to the top gainers, top losers. It can be a great place to find what's going on. And Humanity. It's so weird. I clicked on top gainers, top losers, and it didn't do it. It took us somewhere else. It's not popping up. So weird. It does this sometimes, and I can say that I don't get it. Nice. All right. They don't want to give it to us like a category. I'm so used to clicking on it where I normally click on it that it's very weird, actually, that it's not popping up. And if you guys can't tell, my sinuses are a little irritated. Energy level's pretty good, but for some reason my sinuses are just really inflamed whenever we lose a lot of the humidity in the air. This is really annoying. Glad to see the market cap still over 4 trillion though. I'm sure there's another way to get to this, but again, very used to doing it where I normally do it. And we're moving on. We will go look at crypto rank. There we are, gainers. I don't usually look at it on crypto rank. All right, did we do it? Finally, Humanity Protocol is up 161%. Then you have this, oh man, I remember when this came out, this BNB attestation service. Very weird. It's a weird name for a coin. Could they have picked something simpler? Or BAS. Then we have this Carbon. One coin can change your life. 717 AI by Virtuals. So is this a new Virtuals project? I don't know. What filters do we have on right now? I don't really want to mess with that. Too many options. My neighbor Alice still pumping. Tag, we looked at that yesterday. Looked like a pump and dump, honestly, but I don't know. Swarm Network. Just kind of going through them quickly before I actually start clicking on them. Duck Chain. I remember I bought like an AI agent project called like Duck AI or something like that. Never did nothing. Let's look at this BNB attestation. I feel like I'm not saying that right, and I'm probably not. So BNB Chain's native verification and reputation layer, enabling composable KYC identity and asset proofs for real-world assets, DeFi, and AI agents. Oh, I bet this gets you guys super excited. Everybody is probably real excited about that. And again, BNB Passport. What does that mean? Don't really recognize a lot of these. Maybe OKX Wallet, Dora Hacks, BNB Chain, obviously, OP BNB. Okay, so here we are. What are attestations, right? An attestation consists of a statement and a proof of that statement. Through attestations, users or parties can generate statements about any event. Any third party can verify the correctness of these statements. Attestation breaks down data silos, builds more transparency, trustworthy, and data sharing world. This seems pretty boring for retail, but on the technical side of things, I'm sure it's probably more value than we give it credit for, right? It's innovative. Great question. Cryptomaniac says, where is everyone from and how did you find the channel? So quite a few people not here right now, unfortunately. It's been slower ever since we took that crazy dump. And that's how it goes too a lot of the time. In crypto, we build up to a momentum level, right? An all new time high or something. And I can tell directly in the views and also how many people are in the streams. And then all of a sudden, we have a crash, a pullback, and everybody runs for the hills for, I don't know, depends on the crash, but usually like a week or so. So that's Minnesota, right? Minnesota here, and found underground from the lifer. Quack AI, Corey the Palm. I'm gonna set these in category real quick because I really don't want to look at like a bunch of meme coins. Hyper. I really don't love the format there. I'm like, can crypto or CoinGecko just actually work? It's really irritating, actually. Usually right above your market cap, you know, listing by market cap, there's trending, and then top gainers, top losers, and I'm not sure what they decided to do with it. Oh, here it is. I knew there had to be another way to get there, but when you do something one way all the time, you don't think about making sure you have a backup. You know, you don't make sure you have a backup for doing it. Mr. J from Hong Kong, from the Lifers crew as well. Trade Intuition says, Crypto Billy told us while I was on Crypto Coin Mindset channel, we all did a raid and now watching, here showing support, like button smash. Thank you very much, Trade Intuition. And Lindsay Lynn's in the house. Thank you, Lindsay, for joining us. And shout out to everybody who's here right now. I appreciate you guys. I think that the fact that you guys are here right now when a lot of people got their feelings hurt with the crypto dip I think that says a lot about, your commitment to whatever you're committed to, whether it's changing your life, educating yourself about crypto, investing, speculating, whatever more specifically is your mission. You're obviously committed to it. A lot of people bowed out, after that dip. A lot of people said this is not for me. And they'll come back when the prices start pumping. They usually do. $84.1 million in market cap, this knock chain. Don't think I've seen this yet. We do have a website. It says it's infrastructure and zero knowledge. One second. Let me... Yeah, that fan was killing me. All right, so where are we at? Talking about this knock coin, let's go to their website. So knock is programmable digital gold that scales. So this has to do with gold. Knock chain mainnet is now live. It looks like start minting. Can I just mint some gold? Just give me some gold. This looks very unfriendly to your average user, right? I mean, obviously it took you over to GitHub, which is for developers and stuff like that for sure. Wow, that's the website. I don't know, it looks like they put a lot of time and energy into this scribble background. High quality stuff there. And we're moving on. That looks like trash. Lindsay Lynn says, I'm committed. Hang tough. Learning. So much learn with crypto. Yes, never ending. Plus, you guys are awesome people to hang out with. Well, thank you very much, Lindsay. Blues guy popping in for a minute. I got kicked. Yeah. Just had to walk it off. Feel sick. But feeling past. Hopefully you didn't get, liquidated or not for much. That's why spot bags are the real foundation to a portfolio. Can't have everything, at least for me. I don't like to have everything or much of anything really in leverage positions. But I've been around since last cycle. I know crypto is the future. Exactly. I'm right there with you. Trade intuition. The manipulation sucks. Lost a lot of money, but max fear is where the money is at. We all come back stronger. Yeah. And I mean, it's a very valuable lesson that like you're a small fish in the market, and people are playing whale games. The whales are not all on the same side. I think a lot of times, whale and everything under it, they have all these other names, dolphins and all this other stuff. But the point is that like all those people are not on the same side. Some of them are. Some of them work together. But a lot of them are competing against each other. And so you got to remember that you can easily get caught in the middle of their games. So you got to be careful. My 2x, 3x trades all got liquidated. But that's risk leverage trade take. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully you had stop losses or the amount of money that you had in the trade itself was what you were willing to lose. 100% grinding and learning daily and never give up is the only way to win. Yeah, exactly, Mr. J. That's why we're buddies, says Lindsay. Yeah, exactly. All right, never mind. It's too hot in here without that fan. So anyways, yeah, I mean, that's really what bonds us all together a lot of times, right? Is the fact that we've all been in the market and we've all been victims of the market. Hobos, every single one of you. Blues guy. Shots fired. All right. Derive, right? DRV. 0.6 cents. 46.7% up in the last 24 hours. Makes sense why it would be in the top gainers. 52.7 million in its market cap. A billion tokens. 854.9 million in circulation. Ethereum contract, Optimism base Arbitrum contract, and let's go to their website, which is a .xyz website here. institutional grade options, and futures trading on chain. Not another one. Does anybody feel that way now? When we just see another one of these, we're just like, oh God, not another one. It's almost like somewhere there is like, they just copy code, right? They just copy and pasting code, change the layout a little bit, and then everybody gets to be in exchange. How about we start like a pump dot futures? We'll put it on Solana, and anybody could just start a derivative and perpetual trading platform and collect their fees, and we'll have 10,000 different places to trade the same coins, right? Is everybody really excited about that? Because at this point, I gotta say there's enough decentralized exchanges, right? Can some of them just do exceptionally well as far as like service, not so much price action, but it is the same old story though, right? Like there's too many of them, the money is split too far, and that's why probably Aster's not moving anymore, even though it really is the big money and the big money players that move these things anyways. Thank you, Blues Guy. Hope all is staying out of trouble. I really hope everybody is staying out of trouble as well. In the industry, we call that copy pasta. Yeah, exactly, Lindsay Lindsay. And that's exactly what I was referring to. You know, when code and things like that are not kept private, you know, not kept lock and key. It's like a secret recipe, right? It's like if a famous restaurant gave out their secret recipe tomorrow without hiding any bit of it, you'd have hundreds of restaurants pop up overnight, just literally copying their recipe, right? Their website, their recipe, and selling it. And that would be that. Okay, I don't know how I wound up back at crypto rank. So that's DRV. Now you know. I mean, it is small, and don't get me wrong, just because it's another probably copycat doesn't mean it can't pump, because it can definitely pump. Pump.underground. Let's rug everybody. Whoa, pump the brakes, Mr. J. You can give us a bad reputation. No, I wouldn't rug anybody. I think I was telling my wife that a couple of days ago. Like, that's half of my problem is like I can't do stuff like that. Violates my conscience. And honestly, I've known that since I was a kid. So it's been a long time since I did anything with like, I mean, I'm not a perfect person, don't get me wrong, but I mean, done significantly planned out stuff with ill intentions, right? I know that's just not the way to go. But there's people out there making a lot of money, you know. My point was a lot of times it's hard to see people just making millions of dollars rugging people, and you're like, I could probably do that. But would I be able to live with myself? That's the hard part. So what is this? Wazir X, ticker WRX, 33.3 million. Got the magic number for the market cap, right? Blues Guy would like that joke. And it looks like it's a layer 1 again on this energy exchange-based token, centralized exchange, Binance Launchpad. There you go. What isn't affiliated with Binance right now? Everything, right? Yeah, Cryptomaniac says I'm too nice to rug. Basically, Underground Crypto, I feel that your moral compass is strong. I really think that of you. One of the reasons I follow. Well, thank you very much, Lindsay. I certainly like to believe that it is. To me, morality is one of the very overlooked things. When people look at other people is really what I'm saying. You know, a lot of the people in the space, you know, you go to their channels and you watch them, and it's like, I don't know that I would trust them not to put a coin out and rug me, you know. Yeah, and there's so many dynamics to that. I don't want to get too far into it. It's one of the reasons why I like you say that's why you like to follow, and I'm sure that's a big reason why you like to watch The Lifer, and I'm right there with you on that. It's a big reason why I like The Lifer. For years before I ever actually met him in person, is I don't know. It's a side salad conversation, but for some reason, growing up in really rough environments, I've always been the one who could get a read on people really fast. And I've been proven right about that time and time again. And yeah, I could tell Lifer was legit from the jump. What is this supposed to be? I'm like, what am I even looking at? This is like India's exchange? This is an India exchange? I mean, that's cool. At least it's not another decentralized exchange. I know crypto can get kind of weird in India. I don't know why I keep scrolling up and down. I do apologize. It's because I'm talking and saying a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so it's just another exchange for specifically India, which has a lot of controls about who can enter their markets and who can't enter their markets, right? Both crypto and just about everything else as well. So many people got hurt. The manipulation was monster. Live stream was amazing. Thank you. And yeah, the manipulation is ridiculous. And the fact that like nobody's gonna really dig into it and figure out what happened. Like they quote unquote kind of figured out what happened, but then we're all supposed to act like that can just happen, right? It can't just happen. Like obviously there were people taking place. You can get a good read on people. Yep, absolutely. Yep, just took me a while to find you guys. Yeah, I feel that one. I think we're all here because of stream, right morals and positive energy. I like to believe that for sure. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I love that saying, Blues Guy. I like that, Blues Guy. This channel is full of wonderful people. Kudos Underground. Thank you very much. And the camaraderie between everybody, the community has been awesome. And if anybody's not in the Discord, I'm sure most of you guys are, definitely hop in the Discord just because that's where a lot of the daily conversations go on. And I really like what I'm seeing. It's unfortunate that Orhan's not here because he is a big proponent of the Discord right now. He's always posting and talking with people. I like to see that. And Blues Guy too. Blues Guy too. Crypto Keep. There's a few other Crypto Maniac I've seen in there many times. Lindsay Lins I've definitely seen. Like, I love all the activity. So in these top gainers, I thought we would see a lot of, okay, here's a Tau related project. I thought we'd see a lot of those subnets again. Are they all over in the losers today? Don't think so. I like to see Tornado Cash in the losers. I don't know why. It makes me feel good. Tau bot. That's the only Tau related thing I really see off rip here. So Trade Intuition says, I want to say so much, but don't like typing, so I will not. I have so much to say based on your statements. You can read people. Yeah, and I don't mean that in any like crazy way or anything like that. Not like a psychic ability, just people's body language says volumes about them, and I find that most people are not very aware. And if you just pay attention to people's body language and combine that with the things coming out of their mouth, you can see the heart of a person pretty easily. But Trade Intuition, that's all the reason to join the Discord. We are going to start doing like a voice channel in the Discord where we can all kind of chat and talk about stuff, right? That's going to be fun. I got to figure out like when I'm going to do that though, right? Like, because I want to do it kind of consistently around the same time. So if you join the Discord, and anybody who's in the Discord, try to put in the main hangout or the exclusive hangout if you're in there, what times would work best for you on a regular basis. And we'd probably have like a certain day for it, like one day a week. Kind of like Lifer does his like, you know, private stream. It would be like that, but it'd be more like a voice talk for everybody, right? And we are sharing love and gratitude. Absolutely. Question, how long have you been trading? Not just buying, but actively trading and being able to read the charts. Thank you. So Trade Intuition, this show is centered around like research and deep diving. I've been doing TA. You know, I've learned pretty much everything I know about TA from the Lifer himself for, I don't know, what is it now, like three and a half years, somewhere between 3 and 3.5 years. He always says it takes at least 4 to become a good trader, so I blame that for me not being a professional yet. Trading is difficult, not impossible. Gotta be well disciplined, not impossible, but it is not super easy either. I meet so many people who think they're gonna jump in and within like a month or two be professional traders and understand, and I try so hard to talk them back from that cliff, and they never listen until they're coming back to me with the fact that they lost a lot of money. I've seen it over and over with people who I know personally very well. I don't get it. But that's where like the ego can really mess you up. You know, you think you can do things. I thought, again, when I first started trading, my first like 6 months, I thought I'd get a read on it quick. I don't know how to say it without even coming across like you're bragging or something, but in my life I've had a lot of success with things, and I've had quick intuition for pick things up, especially like physically. I worked in trades and stuff a lot. Like if you show me something, I can almost repeat it and do it immediately, you know? And so I thought I was going to do that with trading. Not the case, right? Anyways, enough of that. I'm the same way. I can read people, so many fake people, but with enough time, you can see things that others don't. Exactly. And it's not rocket science. It really is awareness. Some people just don't have a lot of awareness, is something that I notice. My wife is totally tired of me saying the word awareness because I say it all the time. Things going on, you know, it's just like, hey, there's that cop, you know, the lane over from you, 2 cars back, maybe you should stop speeding. And they're like, what? I don't know there's a cop. There's no cop. And it's like, yeah, it's an undercover cop. He's 2 cars back on the left. And, you know, it's just like you're not very aware. Or maybe I'm just hyper aware. You know, what's funny is one time somebody told me that hyper awareness comes from being in rough areas, and that people who don't have growing up in rough areas don't have that hyper awareness because they're not worried about staying safe. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's a privilege thing, I guess. I have to go. Rehearsal time starts in 5 minutes. I'll watch later. Absolutely, Blues Guy. You will be missed for sure. Much love. Have a great night. Miss Williams in the house says hello, everyone. Catch you later, Blues Guy. Yeah, you'll definitely be missed, but we will see you tomorrow. And actually, I'm sure we'll see you, well, it'll still be tomorrow, but on the Lifers show. I see you super chatting a lot more on Lifers show. I like that, man. Anyways, Talbot. Tal, one of the top trending coins today, a big pumper of the day. It is a big market cap, so it didn't really make it into the top gainers of the day. Yeah, people always show their true colors. Exactly, Blues Guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody's had that experience. You're younger, you're with your friend group, there's a friend of a friend, there's somebody who's not typically around you guys, right? Maybe you know about them, maybe you don't, and you're just like, I get the vibe this person has ill intentions, right? Like they're here to steal something, they're just not a good character. And you try to tell your friends and they all act like you're crazy. It's one of those things where if I had $1 for every time, I would have a lot of money. And then it doesn't take long before they do something super shady. And you got to bite your tongue and try not to do the I told you so moment, right? Install the ultimate BitTensor solution. I don't like that. I don't like when you go to a website and the whole download something pops up. What's up, Reliable J? It says half here. Okay, we'll take half here. I know it's a little late. You're a little sleepy. I hope you're doing all right, man. I've been so busy. I haven't really got to check your Twitter to see how you're doing, man. I hope you're doing well. It was a pleasure to meet you in real person, and I definitely feel connected to you as a brother for sure. Even though we haven't got to spend a lot of time talking or anything, I can tell you're a good dude. So Reliable J in the house, exactly. So the future is AI decentralized by BitTensor. The more I see a lot of this stuff about BitTensor, like we looked at Tarragon yesterday, Omron, if you know, you know. My real name is Ron, so, or Ronald or Ronnie, whatever you want to call me, it doesn't matter. I've ran my own company for too long, so like people just call you whatever, and I just don't even care anymore. But anyways, yeah, I like this Omron. But anyways, BitTensor's ecosystem looks really cool. Mr. J says, judge a person by what they do, not what they say. Exactly. Reliable J, yeah, absolutely, brother. You are welcome. For sure. Taobot. Tau is one of those ones, like what I was starting to say is that like Tau, and we're doing a lot of talking. I've been resting most of the day, honestly, trying to get in tip-top shape so I can come back swinging. I thought after last night I was going to wake up in the morning and be absolutely ready to go, and that did not happen the way I was hoping for. But my point was kind of just a little more chill, just talking almost like we would on a weekend show. Very true. Most are blind and ignore what they do. Yeah. And love hearing what is being said. Oh, I'm glad that you enjoy the conversation. I enjoy you coming to the channel, coming back. You know, a lot of people hopped in and rated the channel, which is awesome. But I do appreciate you kind of coming back for more of a longer listen. And usually Mystery Monday is really about us just getting back into the swing. A lot of people are not around for the weekend. The real crypto people didn't leave, but we're just catching up. So we do talk a little bit more. That Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday stream, though, is where we hit a lot of the more raise your crypto IQ. You know, we really hit that narrative a lot more. Just to throw that out there, if you're, haven't experienced one of those streams yet. Hopefully I'm much better by tomorrow. But what I was saying is Tau seems to be heating up. I don't know if it's Tau maxis. I don't know where the narrative is strongest, if that makes sense. But a lot of people saying stuff like Tau is kind of the next Bitcoin, right? Like Tau is going to do Bitcoin numbers just because it has the value like Bitcoin had the value, back in 2012? Yeah, Bitcoin goes back to 2012, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Anyways, that it has the value like that. And so it's kind of the next up. And I don't really know what to make of that, honestly. There's some things about it that make me unsure if that's really possible. But AI is super popular as far as people believing it's one of the big narratives, both inside crypto and outside of crypto. So that lines up a lot of attention. And then on top of that, they really have built a lot of stuff with AI. And I think AI just makes far more sense on blockchain than it does, say, what would you call it, in a centralized company. All right, we're up to date on the chat. So yeah, I just wanted to say all that to say keep an eye on Tau and its ecosystem. Tau is already pretty big. So what was that Tau bot? I forget what the ecosystem was. I did too much talking there. Let's find Tau bot again. What was the market cap of Tau bot? The 24-hour trading volume was tiny, though. Yeah, 36.2 million. I don't know the ecosystem of Tau well enough to really be able to put my finger on it, and that's kind of my research that I'm going to be digging into. Sometimes the market kind of speaks to me a little bit about what we should be focusing on, and Tau for some reason is really kind of screaming that it's kind of going to get a bunch of attention here. And the hard part is how long will that attention be around for? It could be a couple days, it could be a couple weeks. Kind of reminds me of the whole Bitcoin DeFi, right? So many projects popping up around Bitcoin DeFi. We were talking about Hemi many times in the channel, but also recently in the Discord, as it has connections to YZI Labs, Binance, and all of those different things. But Bitcoin DeFi as a whole, I feel like always gets a little bit of hype. Maybe some project or a project comes out, or an old project gets a little bit of a push, and you hear this little bit of chatter about Bitcoin DeFi, and then it fizzles out. It never turns into much. It's one of the things that makes it really hard about buying even Hemi that I bought recently, is like, I like the connections to Binance and stuff like that, but I just don't know if Bitcoin DeFi is the right narrative. It's got to have its day in the sun at some point, and it has had some days in the sun, but I just don't know when that's going to be. When we're already in a market where altcoins have so much trouble keeping and holding money in their market caps, right? So I don't know. The more we go on, the more I kind of begin to lean towards an elongated cycle, right? And what causes that? What are the repercussions of that? You know, having an elongated cycle, if it means we get the pumps, you know, you kind of got to weigh these things out. And I know I'm just talking quite a bit here. But you kind of got to weigh them out. So the elongated cycle, if that means like we do another year or even two, but we get the pumps, right? We get the altcoin season that we've all been waiting for. I think we'd all be pretty happy with that. But then when that's over and we've made our gains, of course we'll be happy. But then how do we structure ourselves going forward from there? And hopefully if we have an elongated cycle, it's like 6 months or it's like a year. I don't want to see an elongated cycle where you have like multiple years. That's going to really mess things up. It'd be really hard to know when to sell, right? Just thinking out loud here. So, Cerebro. I feel like I've heard people say this, but I'm going to go Cerebro. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. 13.9%. They need one of those buttons like next to them where you click it and it like has the computer voice that says it to give you proper enunciation. My sinus is really messing up my enunciation while we're at it, while we're on that topic. 38.7 million in market cap. Solana, it's got a pump.fun. Immediately tells me to be wary of it. It does not have a website and just a Twitter, so that basically means it has to be a meme coin, right? Maybe not. Multi-utility programs. Seen a lot of Twitters like this before though, right? I mean, 1,828 followers. Where do they get these followers from? Not sure. Looks a bit sketch though. Oh man, hold on. Dang, that sneeze just crept up on me. Crazy. Too much adoption to call it normal cycle in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with you, Reliable J. It's getting weird. Anybody else feel that? It's getting weird. And what does that mean for people who haven't got rich in crypto yet, right? What does that mean for them? A lot of people hoping. And are they just attacking it because they want all the money? Or are they attacking it because they don't want you to have the money? Like they don't want the average person? I don't know. Nobody knows the answer. What I was going to say is they have less than 2,000 followers. And like all of their posts have way too many impressions, right? Like they said, currently on planet Earth. If one of us posted that on X, do you think we would get 18,000 impressions? Probably not. And I get it. It's a crypto project, right? But doesn't really seem like they have a lot to really show for that. Is this other paid influencers who are shilling this, right? Being paid to shill it, and then people are kind of coming here and actually that's a good point, right? Getting a few trickles of followers from paid people shilling it, but the paid people shilling it maybe are reposting because you got like 18, 11, 15, you got a decent amount of reposts. Yeah. It's very interesting. Something doesn't seem right with that, if you ask me. Says your absence was noted and you were missed around the community. Glad to see you here again. I hope things are on the uptick for you. And I didn't actually catch the actual story, Reliable J, of what happened. I just saw the brace and whatnot. I don't really know what happened to you. I kept meaning to reach out, and I feel bad that I didn't. I kind of dropped the ball on that. I can own it. I can be honest about it. We all have a lot going on, even though it's a stupid excuse. Cerebro was LA Vape Cabal. Okay. Familiar music, love it. Exactly. Yeah, I got that house on. We'll change it. over time, but tonight we'll let it run. Build on has to do with World Liberty Finance, Quack AI, or ticker Q. I believe we went over this literally yesterday. 41.8 million in market cap. Rolling into our first hour here. Cryptomaniac says, dang, I didn't know anything happened. Hopefully it wasn't a secret. I don't think it was a secret. He'd be live on Twitter. So I don't think it was a secret. Hopefully I didn't ruin that. Quack AI, the AI governance layer, right? Live on 10 chains, trusted by 40 plus protocols. Very interesting. We can click launch app. I think we did this. We went to the check eligibility, and yeah, we weren't eligible for any airdrops, unfortunately. Well, I'm glad you lived to tell the tale. Yeah, he says, broke my neck, dude. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I got that takeaway or something of that nature. I knew it was your neck that was hurt. I didn't know you full on broke it. Growing up, my father broke his neck, so I had to watch that. I know how rough it is. And then he even loved jet skiing and stuff, my father did, and he loosened up all of the bolts in his neck, so they had to even go back in another time and like retighten everything. So growing up with a father who broke his neck and stuff, I definitely kind of understand a little bit of what you were going through, right? Vertebrae got plate and 2 screws now. It was crazy to say the least. Yeah, and I mean, if you don't mind saying, Reliable Jay, how did you break your neck? Like, I feel like that doesn't just happen, you know? You don't just trip and fall and break your neck. I know you work with a lot of mechanic, you know, I know you're diesel mechanic and stuff like that. So I could imagine maybe it has something to do with that. And again, if you don't feel like going and saying all that, just ignore my comment. So Duck AI, real world asset narrative, really wants to be all about governance, which is interesting. Why do they want to be about governance? Is that a control mechanism? Don't know. Yeah, everybody, you know, everybody drop a prayer for Reliable J that he heals quickly and miraculously, you know, mysteriously, well and fast. It's what we wish for you, brother. Launch on coin. Oh wow. It says I have epilepsy. I had a seizure and hit a wall. For real? Well, I'm still very sorry to hear that. I thought it was going to have something to do with, like, you know, jacking a car up and it falling on your neck or something crazy like that. Said I'm old meat, bro. Word from Unk. Yeah. Hey, I feel you. Yeah, that's wild. Epilepsy, something I've never, obviously I don't have it, so I've never dealt with it. I don't really know what the struggles of epilepsy are or what you really have to watch out for. I just see the warnings on like videos and stuff. But again, man, I hope you start feeling better. I'm sure they got you taking a bunch of stuff. Maybe you take it, maybe you don't. I know that part is kind of rough, all the pain. Treasures, magic. 15 cents. 48.7 million in market cap. Arbitrum, Ethereum, artificial intelligence, GameFi, Metaverse. Now they are talking my language. I love stuff like that. Let's go to their website since they're down with the gaming. She says, nah, bro, just didn't want to make it about me. Love y'all. I'll be back. Okay. Well, definitely come back, and yeah, we definitely love you, Mr. Reliable J. Or I was about to say Mr. J. Y'all have such similar names, Reliable J. Threw me off. But yeah, we'll be waiting for you. God bless. Hope you make a full recovery and get back to what you were doing the daily. Absolutely. I will certainly be praying for you as well. Praying for you as you heal. Exactly. I think all the hardcore lifers and people will be for sure. So we're building the future of interactive IP. This reminds me of what? Story? Story is all about that IP. AI native physical and digital collectibles designed for an agentic universe. If you're not familiar with the term agentic, just pretty much means AI, everything involved with AI, right? And AI ran, they say universe, I'm going to go with internet, built with magic, right? That's the coin. Own and trade IP. It grows alongside you. It's all about owning your own. What's a simpler word than IP, right? Your own creations, the things you build, like, that's your IP. Looks like Gigaverse, Ronin, Fishing Frenzy. I don't really know what that is. Fishing Frenzy sounds like somebody who's trying to steal your login information. All right. Agentic, an AI agent to help you. You build many and they work together. Exactly, right? And I consider it more like an AI internet than necessarily like an AI universe, but I don't know. AI universe is a stronger sell for their website, right? So that's one to kind of keep on the radar there. It's up 23%. Sometimes, oh, here's story. Ticker is literally IP. So those are kind of in a very similar lane there. And when you get down here and you see things that have only had like a little move, sometimes those things are about to have a much bigger move, right? And they're just starting to get a little bit of pop. And useless coin. I'm really surprised to see useless coin. I thought worthless coin, the one connected to Moonshot, was going to be one of the bigger winners. And it still could be. Don't get me wrong. But not so far. So far it hasn't. Launch coins on Believe. This launch coin. We've looked at this before. Ben Pasternak, or Pasternak coin, has rebranded to Launch Coin on Believe, or Launch Coin. Very interesting rebrand there. And who thought Pasternak was a good name? I mean, it's kind of a memorable name. It's kind of cool, but it seems like it's somebody's name, right? 108.6 million in market cap. Believe.app. All that BNB stuff going nuts. Yep, exactly. Such good vibes in the chat, for real. Find your first Believes. Launch a coin. So it's a launch pad. I mean, that you should definitely take away immediately. Why do they want my phone number? I don't really want to give them my phone number. Do they have like a website I could look at though? This says playbook. So at Believe, we're building a new kind of ecosystem. One where attention becomes capital. I mean, is that new? Is attention being capital a new thing? I don't really think so. And anyone with a good idea can be birthed by community instantly. Whether you're a sole creator, a scrappy team, or just someone with a dream, we're excited to help you launch. Okay. How long until we launch the underground crypto community coin? I mean, and obviously I could go to pump.fun and launch that tomorrow. But the real question is, what would it do? You know, the question I feel like most people on pump.fun are not asking themselves. And that is, what in the world would be the point of that coin being around? If people just thought about that before they launch coins, we'd have a lot less coins. Wow. I mean, Giggles has done some numbers, right? And it's only at 131 mil. Of course, I remember we were talking about this thing. It was at like $12. And I knew I should probably buy some just because of the connections. And it's still tiny. 131 million. I mean, this thing could still do some ridiculous numbers, right? My worthless is down 80%. The weird thing, Mr. J, is which worthless do you own? Because there's two of them. It's the type of thing in crypto that's really annoying. Actually, there's 4 of them. If you really want to be honest, there's 4 of them. There's really only 2 that are actually like legitimate. This worthless coin right here is the one that I thought was going to do the best, and it's up actually 55% after getting absolutely smashed into the ground. Right? Man, look at that thing. Very flat, and then this huge dip. And that was probably when we had the big pullback in the market. Although it almost seems like it started before that, October 6th. What day was the big crash? I already don't remember exactly what day it was. But, yeah, big pullback. This thing has connections to like Moonshot, right? And Moonshot ecosystem. Which is why I thought it might do well. I don't know if this is the one you own, Mr. J. Down 80%, so maybe it is. Ghost Coffee says, you still bullish on Anoma? Well, first of all, we just do deep dive and research, right? Did I think that what was being presented by Anoma was bullish? I guess the information and the connections and stuff they have. Do I still think it'll come back and do something? I do. I don't know if I would say I'm super bullish on Anoma itself, but they have some really good connections and stuff. I think for me personally, buying in at, if I bought in at 3 cents, how much lower can it really go, right? You got to address your kind of risk versus reward. I'll bring up Anoma. The big question is, what I was really starting to say is we do deep dive and research, and what they're trying to do is so necessary, is so needed. Like, I can understand their place in the crypto world easily, right? They're basically the ChatGPT of blockchain. If they can deliver, the thing is they don't have like a working product yet, do they? As far as what the intent level, maybe you've seen my videos, maybe you haven't. I assume you know a little bit about Anoma if you're bringing it up. But yeah, so I think you're up right now, but I guess what I'm really trying to say is it's already at 100 million market cap. Can't really see it going too much lower than that. It seems like most of the people who were in it that wanted to get out for whatever reason, they got out. And you never know, did they get out because they hate this coin and they didn't want to be a part of it and they bought it early and they were up so they dumped it? Or is this manipulation and this thing is going to be big? And so they're purposely dumping it down to get ridiculously low prices. Hindsight is 2020, right? We really don't know which one of those narratives it is. And there's a lot of coins that do stuff like this and then become, 2 months from now are huge pumpers, right? Huge. And then there's other coins that do this and never recover. And I'm just not here to tell you which one it is, because I don't know. Not because I'm keeping it from you. I like that Ewa says October 10th. Right, so Giggles was dumping on the 6th. So several days before. I thought so. And Lindsay says, friendly reminder, if you're here, hit the like button. Exactly, and subscribe. It's risk I'm willing to take. I get you. Yeah, I just wanted to be as transparent. And I bought some Ghost Coffee. So if this thing goes to zero and does nothing, then I'm here right with you. I think the last batch I bought was just slightly under 5 cents. I don't hold a lot of it. I hold maybe a little more than $100 worth. But yeah, so we'll see what it does. Sometimes we just really look at what is being presented to us as a narrative and we speculate. And that's honestly the whole entire market in a nutshell. Pretty sure everybody here probably understands that all of this is speculation and that most of these things haven't built anything to really invest in. What are your thoughts on market being saturated? Too many coins. It's like hitting the lottery, picking a coin that gives nice percentage due to several coins doing the same thing. Yeah. Trade intuition. I feel like we talked about that a good bit today, but we definitely talk about that a lot. I think we most commonly talk about that in regards to, throw bubble maps up in the background here. We mostly talk about that in regards to meme coins, right? Because meme coins have little to no value, most of them. That's why you see this whole rise of useless and worthless coin. But at the same time, excluding meme coins, what about all the other coins, right? It does feel like too many people can make a coin. And so too many get rich quicks, and maybe some people that have good intentions to actually build something, maybe a lot of people who don't, is what the feeling I get. Way too many coins, says Cryptomaniac. Yeah, absolutely. There are too many coins, right? Like, go RWA. You know, there's way too many RWA coins. So that's where, like, this channel I feel like really excels a little bit, is kind of focusing on narratives, categories, who's involved. Like, if you're trying to decide between 3 new coins and one of them is connected to Binance, whether Alpha Spotlight or YZI Labs would be better. Personally, in the current state of the market right now, that's probably what I would go with. But that can change quick, you know. Next month could be all BitTensor coins, or it could be all Bitcoin DeFi. You know, the big money kind of picks a narrative and runs with it, just like they picked Aster and all of those perpetual, you know, dexes and stuff. And then now, you know, what is Aster doing? Is it still pumping? Is it still, are people still making money? I don't even know. Yeah, it's down quite a bit, 2.9. I remember when it was definitely over that in market cap. Let's see, market cap topped out around 3.8, maybe a little higher, probably 3.9. Call it, yeah, 3.9 billion in market cap, and now it's chilling at like 2.9. So it's lost over $1 billion in market cap. And it just doesn't seem like it's getting the pump anymore. So it does get a little confusing, right? It does get a little bit hard to say. And at the end of the day, you have to realize that you are speculating. And I don't give financial advice, but if I was speculating, I would certainly make sure I had good risk management, whether that's leverage or not leverage. I mean, you can have good risk management even in spot, right? You can buy something in spot and it goes up 50-60%, and you can set your you can set an order maybe at 10% profit, so that way if it dips, it'll sell you out and you don't have to hold it underwater. There's all kinds of different things you can do. My problem is usually the fact that I hold way too many coins to manage every little moment of every coin. I'm more long-term holding. Hopefully in the 4-year cycle. We talk about that a lot. Hopefully in the 4-year cycle. But we'll see. Unless there's no longer a 4-year cycle, then it's a little hard to play the 4-year cycle. So Meta DAO. Meta has rebranded to Meta DAO. Why did they do that? They kept the same ticker. I really don't be understanding a lot of these rebrands. Like, what was the value in adding DAO to their name? The fact that they are a DAO, I think most people could have figured that out without rebranding. New investors, I'd always steer towards up 10 and pack bags first for long-term hodl. Yeah, exactly, Reliable J. And that was the way that I was kind of advised and taught. Obviously, I didn't have a financial advisor, but read between the lines with a lot of people who I followed. And I was following what they were doing, right? They didn't tell me what to do. I just followed what they said they were doing. And you want to hold some bigger things. That's why my biggest bag is XRP. It wasn't even on purpose, though. I invested pretty equally in a lot of things. Just XRP has moved considerably and held a lot of it. That and some Dogecoin trade intuition that I've held from last cycle. I know you said you were in last cycle, so I'm sure you appreciate that price action on Dogecoin. Hoping it goes back something near there. And React. Blues Guy would love this if he was here. He'll love it when he rewatches or whatnot, or if he hops in late. And this used to be called ParseQ or Parse IQ. I don't know what the point of that was, but React is a better name. This is one of those rebrands that I can get behind because React is a way better name, right? Yeah, it says XRP my main for years. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to do something. We've talked pretty extensively on this channel about all that they say about XRP. We've talked about it a lot. We could hash it out again if we wanted to, but I don't think that we need to. I don't know it's going to be doing all the crazy stuff they're talking about, but I knew it was going to move, right? It has too much attention on it. And again, I was buying in the bear market, so it was a little different. It was like 25 cents back then. 40 million in market cap for React. July 15, 2025. Oh, no, I'm not on the max chart, right? Max chart says March 4th, 2025, so still this year. And React looks pretty solid, right? Lindsay says she's cooking supper, still here, still listening. Awesome, awesome. 1 second, guys. It's like can't live with the fan on and I can't live with the fan off. Somebody out there understands. So we've gone over this several times, right? Reactives is its infrastructure. A lot of people believe it's going to do really well. I hear a lot of people talking about it, right? Reactive smart contracts operate as dynamic, autonomous engines. They track every chain in real time, and they settle outcomes seamlessly across any chain. Apparently, the founder is talked to, the founder of Ethereum. Why am I blanking on his name right now? That's crazy. I definitely know his name. But anyways, some connection there, some acknowledgement of what they're doing. Basically, Ethereum, when they hit the point where they had to figure this type of stuff out that React is building, they couldn't figure it out. So they just let the market solve it, is what they said, by basically not doing it. Here as well, just here charting, nothing special. Just looking at charts on my other screen. No worries, guys. I appreciate everybody who's here listening. And like I said, my sinuses are still bothering me. So sometimes we do some pretty long streams. Some days we do, 3-hour streams are pretty normal. We've done a 4-hour stream one time. I don't know if we're going to do that every time. Well, we're definitely not doing it every time. But I don't know how often we're going to do 4-hour streams. But it called for it the one day. Anyways, we've gone over React a bunch of times. Don't really feel like going over it right this second. We are going to go to our crypto gambling segment of the day here. And I will make sure you guys can actually hear it. Okay. It's already set up. That's good. That's good. And this part takes like a couple minutes. So if you don't like this, then just stick around. We're trying to win some money that we could, possibly invest in some crypto. And this is stake.com. I do have a link for it in the description. I don't think they give me anything for it. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I have no idea. But not sponsored, right? I am definitely not sponsored by stake.com. Who knows about that like notorious sponsorship that BitBoy's channel had with stake.com. They were paying those guys some serious dough. And I'd just be playing some little 20-cent spins. I think it's a nice break up. Now, last Friday, we actually did play slots for like 2 hours, but it wasn't on this. And that was fun. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was super bummed about the market, right? We needed something to kind of lift the spirits and just kind of hang out on a Friday night. Ended up just being like me, Blues Guy, Crypto Maniac. What's the other guy's name? I forgot. I feel bad. He's the one that lives out in like Arizona, or no, New Zealand. Garden Warrior. That's who it was. Dang, they burned us again. They do be burning us a lot on this game. The most money I think I've ever won in one actual spin was actually on this game. It's like $375 or something like that. Off free spins, by the way. So it can happen. It can definitely happen. But it doesn't seem like it's happening today. I've noticed during the summers, though, you don't win as much during the summers. Man, if we hit that, that would be fantastic. Nope. Troy spins, that's like the feature. If you know anything about slots, the feature is what you really want. And do you guys, are you okay with it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? How do you guys feel about our couple minutes of some crypto gambling in the stream? And we're done because we're out of money. Making me want to go to Vegas. Crypto Maniac, you were here the other day, right? Were you here on Friday, Crypto Maniac, when we were playing some slots? And for anybody who doesn't know about MemeX, pretty cool. A Web3 version of Twitter that you actually link your Twitter to. Lindsay Lynn says, I think it's fun. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad that you feel that way. I never know kind of how people are going to feel about it. But what I was going to say, Crypto Maniac, is that we were thinking about in the Discord doing a thing where we all kind of chip in, maybe like a Friday night, or we'll do like a private stream. And then we'll pick, we'll kind of vote and collectively pick games and stuff. And it doesn't have to be anything serious. I mean, we could throw in like $5, right? And then we'll just play some slots and hang out. Probably have a voice chat going where we can all talk while we're doing it, And then obviously you have to usually, for most sites and stuff, you have to hit like at least $100 in order to cash out. And then when we hit it, then we just split it up based off of what you put in. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a cool little hangout, We'll call it Little Brain Break. Yeah, I like that. You should say Vegas is empty. It's too funny. You won't have to fight with the crowds. You should. They say Vegas is empty, right? Okay, I read that wrong at first, Miss Williams. You won't have to fight with the crowd. Exactly, and then we can all just kind of hang out. And I did add a voice channel to the Discord, right? And it would be pretty awesome to talk with some of you guys at different points. I kind of want to do, I don't know, I mean, a channel so small, it feels weird calling it like exclusive. If I was Crypto Lifer, it would be super exclusive, right? But little voice channel, and we'll hop in there sometimes. I got to pick a time and date kind of thing where maybe we could do it on the regular. But if anybody is wanting to hop on that and talk, I mean, obviously you could just hop in there and wait for somebody. But you can always just kind of put in the main hangout that you're going to go jump over there, right? And if anybody's around, maybe they'll go hop in. Just want to encourage that voice channel because I think that's pretty cool. Somebody asked me to make it. Said Vegas was busy when I was there in July. I bet. BTC Vegas 2026 going to be crazy, says Reliable J. Yeah, I definitely want to make it to that one. I didn't go to Vegas last time. I had too much going on. Anyways, this is MemeX. I kind of always show it. I think it's really cool. How well it'll do, I don't know. They're giving away a bunch of money if you can get into their top, top levels. 10 grand. To like the top, 30 people? Yeah. Then 5 grand and so on and so forth for the top 200 people. I was thinking maybe we could all hop on there and kind of boost each other, comment and stuff like that. Maybe we could get ourselves up the rank. I really don't know. We did ask ChatGPT one day what all we had to do to get ranking, and it gave us an okay answer. It wasn't that great. It didn't tell us exactly what we needed. And we're kind of at that part of the stream. Like I said, my sinuses have been bothering me, so we're rolling into an hour and a half. And I'll probably hop off in a couple of minutes. I have a few different things that I bring up, usually at the very end of the stream. While we're chatting, I'm just giving everybody a minute to kind of, say goodbye or ask a question or bring up a topic or something like that. Oh, I just realized that Reliable J said my L3 miner still was a good buy. That's cool. I know we talked a little bit about maybe getting into some mining. Mining is one of the things I've watched a lot of information on, but I've never actually hit the button and bought some kind of miner, right? So one day we might do that for the channel. What can we sell here? We got Orhan's pumpkins that he told us to buy. We could sell those. Says, I went to the Mob Museum. That was awesome. A must go. And where is that, Miss Williams? Also, I don't know if I ever asked you what you do for a living, Miss Williams. I think you did tell us one day. Now I'm going to look like I don't remember. I hope you all feel better soon. I'm also under the weather with whatever's going around. Yeah, exactly. It's the weirdest. I don't even know if I can say that I'm sick. My sinuses get really irritated every year when the weather here changes to be a little bit cooler. It cuts all the I live in Florida, for anybody who doesn't know. We're very humid, and as soon as that weather changes, all the humidity just is like gone out of the air, and like my throat and my sinuses, they can't handle that at first, right? They have to adjust. They don't like the dry climate. It'd probably happen to me if I went anywhere, especially like Arizona or somewhere it's really dry. I'm used to high humidity, right? So my energy level and everything has been good, but for whatever reason, my sinuses and stuff have just been super irritated. But thank you. I hope you feel better as well, Lindsay. It says Mob Museum would be cool. I went to the Titanic exhibit in Luxor. See, like my sinuses being messed up. I can't like pronounce things right. And I feel like all we do on here is like read websites, so it's not the best combination. But I gotta go live. I don't know what to do with myself if it hits like 8-10 o'clock, depending on week or weekend. Now I'm so used to doing the stream, and I'm excited to get on here and see everybody that it just feels wrong to like skip streams. Plus, you know, Lifer set the bar so high with his never miss a day stream. I'm building my way up to it. I can see it happening. I'm definitely never gonna probably surpass him because he's at what, like 5 years of streaming every day. But I'm probably gonna start my own streak with that. But it's a commitment thing, you know. I'm committed to the channel and all of that jazz. Like, I don't have any trouble with committing to the channel, but committing to every single day with no day off, that's something you don't want to like try to take on before you're, you know, you got to know yourself and know things about the way your life is a little bit, right? I'm not ready to fully commit to that every day without any exceptions. But I will definitely be at some point. Basically, I'm thinking when I get monetized, because if you don't know, this is a small channel. I'm sure everybody realizes that, but we're still trying to get monetized out here. Question: who else do you watch besides Lifer? It's an interesting question. I used to have a lot more people who I watched. Obviously, I mostly watch Lifer, and because now I run a channel, I don't have as much time to watch people. When I first got into crypto, the biggest channel in crypto was BitBoy Crypto. And so I definitely used to watch his morning shows. We would mostly watch it, me and one of my really good friends who worked for me for a long time. I had a trade service kind of business. And while we were in the truck every morning, driving around, starting our day, running to get materials and supplies or whatever, we listened to BitBoy like every day. That's why when, you know, he kind of had to move on from that, and I was moving on. I decided to get us tickets for, it was like a BitBoy, Pluto, whatever the NFT thing they used to have. I don't actually own any. It was a cruise to the Bahamas with like BitBoy and his whole team and stuff like that. Met DZ, trying to think of people you would know. Frankie Candles, hung out with Frankie Candles several times. But anyways, as far as people I watch, I don't watch as many people anymore. I know that BitBoy is back to streaming. I've caught like maybe 20-30 minutes. I kind of want to catch because I just want to see where he's at nowadays and what he's saying. I know how most people feel about him, but I've watched him for so long and met him in person and stuff. Like, I kind of, you know, have a little bit of a history with that. So I would watch him just to see what he's talking about. But I do like Crypto Jeb. I like Crypto Jeb a lot. I did not, now I'm just talking freely. I did not really love the whole AJ Wright's crypto the way he handled the whole BitBoy situation, which, let's be fair, is not an easy situation, right? He probably was tired of dealing with a lot of the stuff that was going on. And so anyways, I don't really watch a lot of his content. I guess somewhat because of that, but not really. Not just because of that. Also because, like, man, it's kind of a hot take, but I just didn't really enjoy his channel that much. In time, if the time is right, you will know. Exactly. Ivan on Tech, I watched the longest. Yeah, Ivan on Tech is a big miner, right? Reliable J. I've watched his stuff. That's who I mostly have actually. It's funny you say that because I wouldn't have thought of it. That's who I mostly have watched when it comes to mining content, crypto mining content. I guess that's what we'd call it. Yeah, Reliable J says Bitboy and OG. Yep. Water above crypto is good. Does TA and Gematria. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really heard of that channel. And again, like, you know, there's a part of me that actually feels bad for BitBoy. You know, I don't know how much of it was his own. I'm not even going to get into that argument. But when I met him, he was, and I didn't just meet him like for a meetup for an hour, right? I mean, that was our first time I met him. But I was on a cruise ship with him, had dinner with him and his team, and of course other people who were there on the cruise. But there wasn't that many people every night for like 4 days. And then of course there were outings and there were all kinds of different meetups and stuff. So got to spend a lot. I mean, I played shuffleboard with just me and him and my buddy who was with me on the cruise as like a thank you for him working for me for so many years. But yeah, he was a really nice guy, man. Like during his meetup, he spent almost an hour just hanging out talking with us. There were a lot of people who wanted to talk to him and be around him and hang out, and people came up and talked to us and stuff. It wasn't like he shunned those people or anything, but he really didn't have to like take an interest and talk to us as much as he did and stuff, and it just seemed very genuine. So of course you hate to see somebody like that just get totally beat up in the industry and all the stuff that went along with it. What was right and whose fault it was, I have no idea, and wouldn't be worth even hashing out at this point, right? But I do kind of feel bad for him a little bit. I just wanted to say that, like, he was a really nice, seemingly very genuine person. I'm trying to remember the other influencer's name who was there. Really cool guy. Who I enjoyed hanging out with him in the casino a lot too. What is his name? Man. Cryptomaniac says he's got to take off. Yeah, Cryptomaniac, I'm about to hop off here in a minute, so have a good night, and that kind of goes for everybody. Trying to remember his name. What is that guy's name? That drives me nuts. He's actually a pretty big influencer. You probably know who he was. He was on that cruise, and got to spend a little bit of time around him and stuff, and he was a really cool guy. Reliable J. Oh, I thought you were saying you were going to. I'm probably going to hop off, try to rest my voice, rest up a little bit. Tomorrow's stream hopefully is going to be a little more serious. If I'm still a little bit under the weather, we might have another casual stream. But I think everybody pretty much would agree, I hope they would agree, that doing at least a more hangout casual stream, we still went over a lot of stuff, is better than no stream at all. At least I definitely feel that way, because if I take too many nights off, I start getting like, you know, start feeling like I don't have a channel, you know what I mean? Start getting nervous, nobody's going to come back. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I think there's a hint of truth to it. I probably overselling it in my mind, so I kind of have to live stream whether I feel good or not, just for my own like peace of mind. So with that being said, I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. So no traders then, mainly news type stuff. Yeah, I really don't watch a lot of people trade intuition. I mean, it's actually what you hear lifers say a lot. Like when you're running your own channel and stuff, it is very hard to come up with any time to watch a lot of people. I made the commitment years ago to be a lifer and watch his channel and all of that type of stuff, and it's good for TA and stuff like that. So I will definitely not be going anywhere when it comes to that, but I don't have time to really watch anybody else. But I do like some Crypto Jeb and stuff like that. He does a little bit of trading. Hey Underground, curious if you could take a look at Agora Lynn next time you're on. It's a pre-sale and the tokenomics look interesting. Yeah, Billy A. I mean, we'll be live at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So if you want to pop back in and bring that back up, I'll be more than glad to watch that. He says, hey, I missed the stream. I'll rewind it back. Yeah, I love that if you would watch the stream, you know. Feels weird to say, like, yeah, definitely go do that. But we did go over a lot of stuff today. You also have a family. Yes, Lindsay, I definitely do. Can hear my son running around like crazy out there. Hopefully you guys can't hear him. TA Lifer, maybe CTO Larson. Thanks. Yeah, Billy A, bring that up tomorrow. We'll definitely go over it. With that being said, I'm going to actually hop off. I'll say goodbye like 30 times before I actually get off. So let me not do that tonight. Everybody have a good night. I really appreciated seeing everybody. Kind of made my day, as it was a little bit more of a laid back kind of rest up day. I didn't really talk to nobody. So you guys are kind of my crypto family. Well, not kind of. I don't know why I say that. But you guys are my crypto family and community, and I really appreciate everybody. I'll see you in the Discord, and we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. and I'm sure I'll probably be a little bit better shape than at least I am now. What did he say? I cannot hear him. Oh, you mean I mean your son. Okay. Threw me off for a minute. I'm like, dang it, did I mute myself again? Read the email if you get a chance. I will. I'm gonna go look at it right now, Trade Intuition. And you know, Trade Intuition, you also can message me on Discord. So hop in the Discord and message me. Actually, if you would just hop in the Discord and message me, please, that'd be a better place to get back to you than emailing you back. Torch Nation says, thanks, bro. Awesome. I didn't know you were in here. I'm glad that you're saying, glad that you're saying thank you. I'm glad that you dropped a comment. And good night, everybody. I am out of here for the night.